Okay, in previous lesson, we already learned about markup and markdown. Okay, so here we're going to learn about gross profit, net profit, loss, and break even. Okay, before that, remember when we do a business or when we run a business, there will be some operating expenses incurred. Okay, for example, if you have a shop, okay, examples of the operating expenses are you need to pay salaries of your workers, you need to pay rent for your shop, or you need to pay electricity bills and others. Okay, so that factors or that operating expenses you must include in your business in order to know how much profit you will get or how much loss you will incur. Okay, and also you need to know the break even price. So later on I will explain in detail what is meant by break even price. Okay, now let's look at some introduction. Okay, gross profit or markup is the difference between selling price and the cost price of a product. So remember, always remember, gross profit also equivalent to markup. Okay, recall what is the difference between gross profit and net profit. Gross profit or markup before we include operating expenses, but net profit is when we include operating expenses in our calculation. Okay, so remember that. Okay, out of this gross profit, the retailer must pay all the operating expenses incurred in running the business, such as salaries, rent, utilities, and insurance. As I said before, so you must consider operating expenses. The difference between the gross profit and the operating expenses is called as the net profit. Okay, so given that when your gross profit is more than operating expenses, then you will get net profit. Okay, in contrast, if your operating expenses is more than gross profit, means that what you need to pay is more than what you earn, then you will suffer a loss. Okay, if you look at this formula, net profit equal to gross profit minus operating expenses. Okay, so in this formula, we already include operating expenses. So from this formula, you can derive another two formulas which are for gross profit and for operating expenses. So if you look at formula number 5 here, so let's say here we want to make gross profit as the subject, or we want to find formula for gross profit. Okay, you start from this formula, you make right hand side here to left hand side in order to make gross profit as the subject. So gross profit minus operating expenses equal to net profit plus operating expenses. Okay, before that, I forgot to delete this one, sorry. So you delete this one, okay? I copy and paste, I forgot to delete this part. So you put GP minus OE on left hand side. So GP minus OE equal to NP. Okay, now we want to find formula for GP. So make GP as the subject. So GP equal to NP plus OE. How we get plus OE? So minus OE, you bring to right hand side, becomes plus OE. Okay, now you get formula for gross profit. Okay, now let's say we want formula for operating expenses. So this part also the same, you delete this part, okay? So GP minus OE equal to NP. So OE equal to GP minus NP. So note here that here OE is negative, okay? So if you confuse this part, you can start from this formula, okay? Because here OE is positive. Okay, example I show here. Okay, you bring right hand side to left hand side because we want to make OE as the subject. So NP plus OE equal to GP. So we want to make OE as the subject. OE equal to GP. So NP positive, right? So positive you bring to right hand side become minus NP. Okay. So that's how you derive formula for OE. So OE here equal to GP minus NP. Okay, from the above formula, from this formula, okay, there are three possibilities. Okay, first, if gross profit more than operating expenses, then we can say that net profit exists. For example, here, if your gross profit is 1,000, your operating expenses is 200, then you will get net profit. Okay, 1,000 minus 200 is 800 positive value. So means that you will get net profit of 800 ringgit. Okay, in contrast, if gross profit less than operating expenses, then you will get net profit equal to negative. So if negative means that loss exists. Okay, for example, you get gross profit of 500 ringgit, but you need to pay salary of your workers for 800 ringgit. So means that you will lack another 300 ringgit. So 500 ringgit minus 800 ringgit will be equal to negative 300. Okay, so if you get negative means that you will suffer a loss. And last one, if gross profit equal to operating expenses, means that net profit will be equal to 0. So when this happens, break even exists. Okay, so gross profit, what you earn equivalent to how much you need to pay for operating expenses, then we say that net profit equal to 0. You will gain nothing. Okay, for example, you earn gross profit of 500 ringgit. You also need to pay salaries of your workers for 500 ringgit. Okay, so means that your net profit is 0. So at this point, we call it as break even exists. So in Malay, we say that untung pun tidak, rugi pun tidak. Okay, so that is meant by break even point. Okay, recall previous formula. We have selling price equal to cost plus markup. So if you look at this formula, these three formulas, okay, this three formula does not include cost. Okay, so when we want to calculate net profit, for example, for sure we also need to include cost as well. Okay, now I will show you on how to get formula for net profit, gross profit, and operating expenses together with cost in this formula. Okay. Okay, if you look at this formula, selling price equal to cost plus markup. So remember, first point just now, gross profit also equivalent to markup. Okay, so gross profit here GP and P equal to NP plus OE. So actually this is also equal to formula markup. Okay, because gross profit equal to markup. Okay, now let's look at how to get all these formulas with cost inside the formula. Okay, here I have some simplified notes. Okay, if you refer this note, okay, the first row here will be formula given in final exam for topics retailing. But if you refer our previous notes, there are so many formulas. So why in exam, it only gives you these two formulas, okay? So how to get the other formulas? For example, okay, how to get all these formulas? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, but in exam, it only gives you these two formula. Okay, after this, I show you on how to get all these formulas easily. Okay, now I'm going to show you on how to derive all formulas under mathematics retailing by using the two formulas given in final exam. Okay, note here that this is the only two formulas will be given to you in final exam. Okay, so how to get all those formulas? Okay, first point, you must remember markup also equivalent to gross profit. Okay, so this is the first point that you need to know. So if you look at this formula, so here GP, gross profit. So in this formula you have markup. So remember these 2 points, GP and markup is the same. Okay, and in this formula you have operating expenses but you don't have costs. But in this formula you have costs but you don't have operating expenses. So again, when we run a business, we need to include operating expenses. So here in this problem, from this formula, okay, let's say you want to find selling price for an item. Okay, so in order to gain profit, you also need to consider operating expenses. But in this formula selling price, there is no operating expenses. Okay, so now our objective is we want to get formulas that have cost and operating expenses in it. Okay, now let's start from formula selling price equal to cost plus markup. Okay, selling price equal to cost plus markup. Okay, now we know that markup also equivalent to gross profit. So here markup equivalent to gross profit. Okay, this one GP equal to OE plus NP. Okay, now from this formula, make M or markup as the subject. So C plus M equal to SP. And then markup equal to SP minus C. Okay, so positive go to right hand side become minus. Okay, next. Okay, we know that markup also equivalent to gross profit. Okay, markup equal to gross profit. Okay, now substitute formula markup and formula gross profit into this equation. So markup, what is markup? So here markup equal to selling price minus cost. Okay, markup equal to selling price minus cost. Then equal to gross profit. So what is gross profit? OE plus NP. Okay, now you have one equation that has all factors in it. Means that you have cost and you have operating expenses. Okay, from these formulas, we can derive another four formulas, okay, which are selling price equal to what, cost equal to what, OE equal to what, and NP equal to what. Okay, now let's say I want to find formula for selling price, okay. Selling price. So how to get formula for selling price? Okay, start from this formula. SP minus C equal to OE plus NP. Okay, now make SP as the subject. So SP equal to, okay, write again on right hand side, OE plus NP. Okay, now bring cost to right hand side. So negative C to right hand side become positive C. Okay, now you get formula for selling price, how much you need to sell with factor operating expenses and cost included in the equation. Okay. Okay, from this formula, we can derive formula for OE. So since here you have negative sign, so you can start from this formula as well because all the signs are positive. Okay. Okay, now let's say I want to find formula for operating expenses. Operating expenses. Okay, start from this formula. Okay, you make OE as the subject. So you write here OE plus NP plus C equal to SP. So now we want to find OE. So OE equal to So write again what is on right hand side, SP, and then bring NP and C to right hand side. Okay, so positive to right hand side become negative. So OE equal to SP minus NP and then minus cost. Then you get formula for operating expenses with factor cost also included in the equation. Okay, now we want to find formula for net profit. Okay, so start from this formula because all signs are positive. So how to find net profit? Net profit. Okay, start from this formula. OE plus NP plus cost equal to SP. Okay, now we want to find net profit, right? So NP equal to SP. So what is on right hand side? We write again SP. And then bring OE and C to right hand side. So positive, so to right hand side become negative. So NP equivalent to SP minus OE minus cost. Then you get formula for net profit. Okay, last one. How to get formula for cost? So cost. Okay, use this formula as well. OE plus NP plus cost equal to SP. Now we want to find cost, right? So cost equal to SP. So bring OE and NP to right hand side. Positive to right hand side become negative. So cost equal to SP minus OE minus NP. Okay, done. You get all the formulas under mathematics retailing. So remember how to get all these formulas based on the two formulas given in the exam. So first thing you need to remember that markup is always equivalent to gross profit. Okay, then you equate M equal to GP. Then you expand from these two formulas. Okay, so for better understanding, I advise you to repeat this step at least twice. Okay, and then you will know and you will understand how to write the formulas. Okay, now let's look at another concept under retailing, which is break-even price. Okay, so break-even price occurs when there is no net profit, or we can say that net profit equal to 0. So if you still remember before this, when break-even exists, okay, so when gross profit equivalent to operating expenses, okay, so how much you earn also equivalent to how much you need to pay, okay. So in this case we say that break even exists or net profit will be equal to 0, okay. So in running business we always need to know how much is our minimum selling price. Okay, why we need to know our minimum selling price? Because we need to avoid loss. So for sure in business there will be customers who will haggling or who will ask for discount. Okay, so you need to know what is your minimum selling price so that to avoid loss. Okay, now look at formula selling price. So selling price just now equal to this one, okay? Selling price equal to OE plus NP plus C. Okay, now we want to know minimum selling price. Okay, before that I explain break-even price here. Break-even price is the minimum or the lowest selling price that seller can offer to customer to avoid any loss. Okay. Okay. Example that I can give is Okay, let's say normal selling price is RM 200 ringgit. Okay, then your customer asks for discount. Okay, let's say your customer asks for 10% discount. Okay, so 10% equivalent to how many ringgit? Still remember how to calculate amount of discount? The amount of discount, the original price multiplied by rate of discount. So 10% from 200 ringgit is 20 ringgit. So if you give discount of 20 ringgit, what is your new selling price? So new selling price will be 200 ringgit minus amount of discount, 20 ringgit. So your new selling price will be 180 ringgit. Okay, now you need to know, if you sell with 180 ringgit, did you suffer a loss or did you still gain profit? Okay, so in this point, that is why we need to know what is our break-even price. Okay, so means that break-even price, you did not gain loss, you did not gain profit, or you also did not suffer from any loss. So that's why net profit equal to 0. Or we also can put it as gross profit equivalent to operating expenses. Okay, now let's say in this case, I know that my break-even price is RM 150 ringgit. Okay, so in this case, we put break-even price is 150 ringgit. So look at back, what is break-even price? Minimum price or minimum selling price that we can offer to customer to avoid any loss. Okay, just now we give discount 20 ringgit. So new selling price is 180 ringgit. Okay, now our break-even price is 150 ringgit. So in this case, if you still give selling price of 180 ringgit, you still get profit. Okay, why? Because your selling price is more than your break-even price. Okay, so in this case, you still gain profit of how many ringgit? 30 ringgit. Okay, so 180 minus the minimum selling price. So you will get another profit of 30 ringgit. Okay, what if I put new selling price equal to 130 ringgit? Okay, let's say another new selling price RM 130 ringgit. Okay, so we know that our break-even price is 150 ringgit. So this is the minimum selling price that we can offer to customer. So if you sell it at 130 ringgit, which is below than your break-even price, so in this case you will suffer a loss. Okay, so 150. So how much you lost? 150 minus 130. So which is RM 20 ringgit. Okay. So that is why we always need to know our break-even price to suffer a loss. Okay. So in this case, you will get loss. So remember, break-even price is when net profit equal to 0 and gross profit equivalent to operating expenses. Okay, now how to get formula for break-even price, the minimum selling price that we can offer to customer. Okay, look at formula selling price here. So now we want to find the break-even price. Okay, SP for break-even price. So here I write SP for break-even price, or I just put break-even price. Okay, OE plus NP. So if break-even price, we know that net profit equal to 0. So substitute net profit equal to 0. And then plus C. So from this formula, break-even price will always equal to OE plus cost. Okay. Here, whatever cost that you put in order to get the items together with all operating expenses will be your break-even price. Okay, so that's why net profit equal to 0. Okay, now let's look at exercise 9, number 1. A retailer would like to sell a marble table at the price of 1,500. Would like to sell, so sell means that selling price. SP equal to 1,500. He wants a net profit of 25% based on cost. Okay, so you need to know how to convert this sentence into mathematical sentence. So net profit and P is 25%, so 0.25 based on cost, means that multiply by cost. Okay, so you write like that. So or simply you can write 0.25 C. Okay, and operating expenses of 15% based on cost. So here you can write OE as OE equal to 0.15 C. Okay, 0.15 C means that 0.15 multiplied by C. Okay, find the cost of the marble table. Okay, normally students' problem is which formula to use. Okay, okay, now I give you a hint. Okay, we want to find cost, right? Okay, first formula that you learn in this topic is selling price equal to cost plus markup. Okay, but in this formula, now we want to find cost here. But problem is in this formula, we don't have operating expenses. Okay, but in this question, we need to consider operating expenses. So how to get formula for cost? So refer back how we derive all the formulas previously. Okay, so formula for cost, which one? Okay, this part. Okay, so this formula for cost, we include operating expenses in it. So use that formula. So that is why it is important for you to practice on how to derive all these formulas. Okay, so then you know which formula you need to use. Okay, now use this formula. Cost equal to selling price minus OE minus NP. So cost equal to selling price 1,500. OE is 0.15 C minus net profit 0.25 C. Okay, now look at, you have C, C. So make C as the subject. So C plus 0.15 C. So negative, negative, you bring to left hand side, become positive. Plus 0.25 C equivalent to, so what you have on right hand side? 1,500. Okay, 1C plus 0.15 C plus 0.25 C will be equivalent to 1.4 C. So 1.4 C equivalent to 1,500. So 1.4 C means that 1.4 multiplied by C. So we just want C. So C equal to 1,500 divided by 1.4. So C equal to RM 1,500 divided by 1.4. 1,071 ringgit 43 cents. Okay, so that's how you find value cost with operating expenses. Okay, now look at question B. Find the markup of the marble table. So we know that markup also equivalent to gross profit. So from this question, there is no info about gross profit. So which formula to use? So you can start with formula. Selling price equal to cost plus markup. Okay, so this is the formula that will be given to you in exam, right? So this formula. So markup you derive from this formula. So we know that selling price is 1,500 equivalent to cost, which is 1071.43 plus markup. Okay, so now make markup as the subject. So markup equivalent to 1500 minus 1071.43. So markup equivalent to RM 428.57. Okay, last question, the break-even price. So remember, break-even price is the minimum price that we can sell to customer, okay, to avoid any loss. So we know that break-even price equal to OE plus cost. So OE is 0.15 C. So what is C? 1071.43 plus cost 1071.43. So BP equivalent to RM 1232.14. Okay. So if you look at here, selling price is 1,500. So you know that your break-even price is 1232.14. So this is the lowest selling price that you can offer to your customer. Okay, I give a situation. Okay, let's say your customer for discount of 100 ringgit. Okay, so just now selling price is 1,500. Okay, new selling price. Okay, your customer asked for discount of 100 ringgit, right? So 1,500 minus 100 ringgit is 1,400. Okay, so in this case, did you will suffer a loss or still gain profit? Okay, now look at your break-even price. If your selling price is above your break-even price, so in this case, you still will get profit. Okay. However, if your new selling price is below break-even price, then you will suffer a loss. Okay, so in this case, since new selling price is more than break-even price, then we say that profit still exists. Okay. Okay, now let's look at number 2. A washing machine manufacturer allows 30% of cost for operating expenses. So OE equal to 30%, 0.3 of cost, so 0.3 C. And 15% of cost for the net profit, so NP equal to 0.15 C. If the cost to produce one unit is 400 ringgit, so we know that cost is 400 ringgit. Okay, find the selling price. Okay, since we know that cost is 400 ringgit, so here we can directly find value OE and value NP. So OE here equivalent to 0.3 times 400. So 30% from 400 is 120. And net profit 0.15 C equivalent to 0.15 times 400. So this one equal to 60 ringgit. Okay, find the selling price. Okay, now look at, we have operating expenses. Okay, so again, we need to use formula that has operating expenses in it. Okay, so we cannot use this formula. Selling price equal to cost plus markup. Okay, because in this formula, it does not include operating expenses. So what is formula for selling price just now? So selling price equal to OE plus NP plus C. Selling price equal to OE plus NP plus C. OE is 120 plus net profit 60 plus cost is 400. So selling price here will be RM 580 ringgit. Okay, B, find the gross profit. So we know that gross profit also equivalent to markup, right? So here we can use formula SP equal to cost plus markup. Okay, so markup is equivalent to gross profit. So now we want to find value M. So selling price 580 equal to cost 400 plus and markup. So here markup will be equivalent to 580 minus 400. So markup is RM 180 ringgit. Okay, last one, the break-even price. So recall what is break-even price? The minimum selling price that we can offer to customer to avoid any loss. So break-even is when net profit equal to 0. Okay, so BEP equals to OE plus C. OE is 120 plus cost is 400. So BEP equal to RM 520. So just now selling price is 580 and now BEP is 520. Okay, example. Okay, let's say customer asks you for a discount. Okay, discount of 80 ringgit for example. Okay, can you give me discount 80 ringgit? Meaning to say that your new selling price will be 500 ringgit. Okay. Okay, if you sell with 500 ringgit, did you suffer any loss or did you still have profit? Okay, so now look at break-even price. So the minimum price that you can sell is 520. But now your new selling price is less than 520, right? So in this case, loss will incur. So how much? Loss of RM 20 ringgit. Okay, because of break-even price is 520 ringgit. Okay, what if I put new selling price equal to RM 520, which is equivalent to your break-even price? Okay, so in this case, we call it as break-even exit. Okay, because your break-even price equivalent to your new selling price. Okay, you did not gain any profit or you did not suffer from any loss. Okay, now let's move to question 3 here. A retailer bought a TV set for 1,800 ringgit. So this one will be the cost. Operating expenses incurred in retailing the TV were 20% of the cost price. So OE equivalent to 20%, 0.2 C. Okay, since we know that C equivalent to 1,800, so we can calculate value of operating expenses here. So 0.2 multiplied by 1,800 equivalent to 360. Okay, next, if the retailer wants to make 15% net profit based on cost, find the net profit. So net profit, it says that net profit is 15% based on cost. So 0.15 C equivalent to 0.15 multiplied by 1,800. So this one equivalent to RM 270. Okay, B, find the retail price or selling price. Okay, so here we have operating expenses and cost. So what is formula for selling price just now? Selling price equal to OE plus NP plus cost. SP equal to 360 plus 270 plus cost 1,800. So selling price is RM 2,430. Okay, C, find the gross profit. So remember, gross profit also equivalent to markup. Okay, so if you don't have value markup here, so you can use formula profit. Okay, so what is formula for gross profit? So gross profit equal to OE plus NP. So here GP equal to OE plus NP. OE equal to 360 plus net profit of 270. So gross profit equal to RM 630. Okay. Okay, now the break-even price. So break-even price is given by OE plus cost. OE is 360. Cost is 1,800. So BEP equivalent to RM 2,160. Okay, question E, last question. Find the maximum markdown percent that can be offered without making any loss. Okay, this question asks you how many percent or maximum percent that we can give to customer so that we are not suffering from any loss. Okay, we know that BEP is the minimum selling price to offer without incurring any loss. Okay, so this is in terms of amount. Now we want to express this amount in terms of percentage. Okay, so how to calculate that one? We use this formula. Okay, maximum markdown percentage. Okay, so what is the maximum markdown percentage? So original selling price minus break-even price. Okay, so this one, this part will be your maximum amount of markdown. Okay, and then if you want to find percentage, for sure we need to divide by original selling price. So express in percentage, again multiply by 100. Okay, now find maximum amount of markdown first. Okay, so maximum amount of markdown is given by selling price minus BEP. Okay, so selling price just now equal to 2430 minus break-even price 2160. So this is maximum amount of discount or markdown that you can give to your customer. Okay, so maximum you can give is at most 270. Okay, if more than two, if you give discount or if you give markdown more than 270, later on you will suffer a loss. Okay, but if you give less than 270, you still have profit. Okay, now we want to express this amount in terms of percentage. So the formula just now, maximum markdown percent equivalent to original selling price minus break-even price. So this part is maximum amount of markdown divided by selling price, then multiply by 100. So what is the maximum markdown percent? So maximum amount of markdown just now 270 divided by selling price is 2430 multiplied by 100. So this one equivalent to 11.11%. Okay. So this is maximum markdown percentage that you can give to your customers so that you will not incur any loss. Okay. Example, okay, let's say if your customer asks for 10% discount. Okay, So if 10%, which is below than 11.11%, so it is okay to give or to offer your customer 10% discount, because your maximum markdown percent that you can give is 11.11%. But if your customer asks for 15% markdown or 15% discount, can you give to your customer? Okay, so yeah, the answer is cannot. Okay, why cannot? Because already exceed the maximum markdown percentage. If you still give 15%, then you will suffer a loss.